Hello, my name is Morgan. This is the 7th entry in a series of game development logs. This episode describes how dynamic range environment maps are used along with a very coarse gameplay implementation. And gameplay is what makes a game fun. It can be stuff like talking to people in an RPG game, shooting them in an FPS game, or just controlling a car in a race game. In this case, the first gameplay implementation is very simple to show the point and show how stuff works in the engine. So there is a small battery that can be picked up by the robot. The battery can then be placed into the machine, which makes the machine power up so the propeller spins. The battery also has a charge, which is drained in this case. A game entity is like an object in the game, such as the battery described, the player, or just a rock. And technically these entities historically have been implemented in many ways. There are many ways to do it. Some try to generalize them in many ways. Though I try to keep it as simple as possible, and I actually has pretty much one class or type for each entity. And this gives a unique interface to each entity to interact with. Though general components are used so I can have some reuse in the engine, for example a model for the rendering or a sound that can be sent to the audio system. An environment map is an image that represents a simple model of the surroundings. Common types of environment maps are cube maps and spherical maps. They can be used for many things, but in this case, as a first step to better lighting, an HDR environment map is used while baking the light maps for the scene. So this gives a nice and realistic lighting effect while not having to place a single light in the scene. And as a positive side effect, the same map can be used for effects later on, like reflection and refractions on water, for example. And that is all for this episode. For the next episode, I plan to have implemented a graphical user interface with some text rendering. So feel free to comment or chime in on the development, like or subscribe, and thank you for watching, and see you next time.